Welcome, everyone, to the MMA Fighting UFC 249 Staredowns live stream, which will be starting shortly. And welcome back, everyone who was with us on the weigh-ins live stream earlier today. We are just waiting on UFC President Dana White. You know, he needs to stand in the middle, and then the fighters will start coming up. And yes, doing social distancing face-offs, which should be interesting. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll be providing little tidbits of information as people step up. For anyone, again, who's just tuning in, we've got the weigh-in results on the screen. As you can see, only one fighter missed weight. Jeremy Stephens came in 4.5 pounds over the featherweight limit. We do not know if his fight with Calvin Kattar is going to go through as scheduled, but it's possible that they're just in negotiations now, trying to figure out how much a penalty Jeremy Stephens will take if that fight does go down. Otherwise, interim lightweight championship fighters, Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje on weight. Bantamweight co-main event title fight with Henry Cejudo and Dominic Cruz also on weight. Everyone else made weight except for Mr. Stephens, unfortunately. But otherwise, we're ready to go and just waiting for Dana White and the fighters to show up.
Hello, this is Jose Youngs here. I'm on site here in Jacksonville. It looks like the embedded crew just showed up, so I bet we're closer than we think. I see all the boom mics and everything. I'm waiting for off to the side.
Oh, sorry, I forgot also that people couldn't see us, so I should mention, that's Jose who just spoke. This is Alexander K. Lee, A.K. Lee, commenting, and Casey is also with us. He'll probably be chiming in now and then and just generally handling what you see on the screen. So
good morning, MMA fans.
Casey coming in hot. Again, for anyone who missed the live stream, the weigh-in live stream earlier, that will be up on our YouTube channel, MMA Fighting. You can find that on YouTube soon, probably after the Staredowns. And then I believe after the Staredowns, we will also be getting a scrum from Dana White, so we will have that in some form for you later as well. We'll see what the president has to say about how this week has gone, how probably excited he is about this weekend and having fights back. And also, let's not forget, 2 more cards in Jacksonville next Wednesday and next Saturday. Coming up first, whenever the weigh-ins do begin, we will have light heavyweights, Ryan Spann and Sam Alvey. Spann was actually the last guy to show up for the weigh-ins, but he made weight. I believe he came in we have on screen at 206. So happy times for Mr. Spann, and we'll have some more information about that fight. That'll be on the early prelims. 2 other fights on the early preliminary card. We have a featherweight encounter with Charles Rosa and Bryce Mitchell, and also a welterweight rematch between Vicente Luque and Nico Price. Then on the ESPN card, starting off that show, Ronaldo Jacare Souza and Uriah Hall in middleweight bout. Souza coming back from that one-fight stint at light heavyweight. Strawweights, Carla Esparza and Michelle Watterson meeting. We kind of were joking about earlier. It's almost like an Invicta FC atomweight title fight. Both fighters had a lot of success at 105 pounds. Well, I'm sorry, Esparza has always fought at 115, but has had the frame of a 105 pounder. So it's kind of an interesting atomweight encounter on a UFC card, as it were. Heavyweights, our first of 3 heavyweight fights, Fabricio Verdum and Alexei Oleinik. That's going to be an awesome fight to watch. I'm very excited about that. And then closing out the prelims, the ESPN prelims, a rematch between Donald Cerrone and Anthony Showtime Pettis. Then ESPN Plus pay-per-view tomorrow night. Greg Hardy and Jorgen De Castro starting off things in heavyweight bout. As we said, Jeremy Stephens and Calvin Kattar scheduled to be the second fight on the main card. We don't know if that fight's happening. We have to see if Kattar's team accepts the penalty that Fred Stephens will have to take for missing weight this morning. Then Francis Ngannou and Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and another heavyweight bout that everyone is hoping and probably expecting will end in a knockout for somebody. And then we have our 2 title fights at the top. Henry Cejudo defending his bantamweight title against Dominic Cruz, and then Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje meeting for an interim lightweight title. Gaethje, his first UFC title fight. Ferguson could become an interim champion again, which is a rare and dubious distinction in the sport.
Who has been double interim champ?
I believe only Randy Couture. Let me just check that quickly. I believe Randy Couture, yes, is the only other fighter to have multiple interim title. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Fake news. Let me correct myself.
It's not fake news. It's just a correction.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize to America and to Canada as well. No, I think Ferguson will be the only. I'm sorry. I believe Ferguson will be the only 2-time interim champion should he be victorious on Saturday night. So I don't know how people feel about interim titles, but it is certainly always an honor to be held in that regard. I think to a lot of us, a lot of Ferguson fans, I should say, he's been kind of the uncrowned champion for years. He's on a 12-fight win streak. That matches Khabib Nurmagomedov's 12-0 stint in the UFC so far. So he, the El Cucuy has had as much of an argument as anyone to be considered the top guy at 155 pounds. But we'll see tomorrow if he wins another interim belt and how people view that win and where that puts him in the standings. Given that, again, he was supposed to fight Khabib. They were scheduled for a fifth meeting. Unfortunately, as we all know, because of COVID-19, all these things fell through. The event was moved. Khabib is stranded in Russia because of travel restrictions, and now Justin Gaethje stepped in. So we still got a great fight. We've still got a title fight. Might not be what we were originally expecting, but that's what we got Saturday night. So just wait. That's the other interesting thing is I believe for all these fighters, this will be the first time they're actually facing off. Normally we do get a lot of media ahead of these events, and we get a chance for the fighters to face off then. But this will be the first time for a lot of these guys. So those guys who aren't fighting in rematches anyway. Interesting.
Yeah, we've been told these will be socially distanced face-offs, which I find odd. So I guess just they'll be within this yelling distance of each other.
Yeah, we usually get at least one or two, Dana White having to step in and kind of break people apart. I don't think that's going to happen today.
I still find it kind of odd because they're going to be fighting in 24 hours. They're tested, so well, it is what it is. we have something.
We have something, yeah. We'll see if Henry Cejudo has a special cringe judo. What does it call it? King of Cringe. Act for today, given that again he'll be limited in the interaction he can have with his opponent Dominic Cruz, but I feel like he's going to have something up his sleeve. I don't think the king of cringe is going to be stopped by social distancing. So for people who enjoy that shtick, look out for that. Again, this is Alex K. Lee talking right now. We have Jose Youngs on site. He is in the building. That's why you have this lovely feed coming into your living rooms or wherever you're watching right now. And we have Casey on the ones and twos. So MMA Fighting Crew is here for you. I'm gonna take a look. I haven't been taking a look at the YouTube comments.
I noticed.
Let's jump in.
I've been looking. We've had a few people ask, is Jeremy Stephens fighting? As far as we know, the fight will be going on. We have not heard an official statement yet, but they haven't told us otherwise. Yeah, we had some speculation earlier from Eric Nixick of Extreme Couture on Twitter, who said, what we can kind of expect it to happen, because it looked like, so Jeremy Stephens weighed in, and though he missed by 4.5 pounds, he still took off his underwear, he still stripped down, and the reason he did so is possibly because he was trying to stay within a pre-arranged weight. So he knew he was going to miss, but obviously was trying to stay within a certain amount so the fight wasn't canceled by the commission, for one thing. And also, it's possible that, again, Calvin Cater's team said, okay, we'll take the fight. We know you're going to miss. We'll take the fight, but let's try and keep it within 5 pounds. So, again, we don't know for sure. We are somewhat speculating, but it does seem possible that there was some sort of prearranged agreement and that the fight will go down as scheduled, hopefully, because it looks like a good one, Stephens versus Cater. So let's hope those guys work things out, and that we do get to see them face off as well. I'll take a glance at the comments now. We have a comment on the screen right there. Can you read the comment on the screen?
Who does your... Well, this seems like a self-serving comment that you've got. No, I shouldn't say it. Who does the graphics because they're awesome? Casey, I believe it's Esther. You and Esther are handling, or is it just Esther? Can I just credit Esther?
It is just Esther. She is Esther Lynn, the GOAT photographer, is also the graphics guy.
Yeah, the goat graphics guy, as it were. She's been putting up these brilliant graphics. So, shout outs to her, and of course, I know everyone loves the graphics. People on the weigh-ins earlier were raving about the graphics. They were over the moon. I did see a question that I just missed. It was something. Pancakes versus waffles, which is better? I'm a waffle. I love both, and I actually haven't had a good waffle in a while. So I guess I'll say pancakes, but definitely everyone else. That's a good question. I want to hear everyone else shout out in the comments. Pancakes or waffles? There's no wrong answer. Both are absolutely wonderful. So I'm gonna lean towards pancakes, but I still love my Eggos. When I was definitely used to eat a lot of Eggo.
There you go. We've thrown the question out there.
Whoa,
Pancakes.
that's a mistake.
Oh, what happened? Oh, I missed it.
The comments are going so fast. I tried to click on.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There we go.
So we're gonna answer we're gonna answer the important questions while we wait for Dana White and the fighters.
It looks pretty even. I'm seeing a lot of waffles, but pancake coming on pretty strong too. So French toast, John Lowry on YouTube coming in with French toast. I'm not gonna hate on that. I'm seeing also toaster strudels. Someone specifying cannabis pancakes. Chicken and waffles. Oh, that's tough to beat. Someone is saying chicken and waffles. I will disqualify that answer because I think that's not fair to pancakes. Though if anyone wants to throw out chicken and pancakes, which I never tried, I say have at it. That's certainly I would not object.
Has someone who lives in Inglewood, we have a Roscoe. We actually have a few chicken and waffles places very within walking distance of my home. So chicken and waffles are wonderful. I just enjoy. I'm a waffle guy.
You're a waffle. Yeah. I mean, again, there's no wrong answers. Someone asking us a question is Bryce Mitchell the only guy not wearing a mask? How is that allowed? I don't think he was the only person not wearing a mask.
Weighing in?
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of fighters, they're wearing masks when they're in the hotel. But some fighters chose when they weighed in, they just didn't have their mask on for the weigh-ins. But everyone is wearing a mask in general.
Yeah. Some people wore their mask all the way up to the weigh-ins and then took it off for pictures and then put the mask back on. I know Uriah Hall, I think, was the first to do that. Some people kept their masks on, not everyone. Some people did pose with the mask on. So, it's interesting. So for you guys who are used to seeing kind of new images of these fighters, you'll be getting them with a mask on. So, and this could be the new normal for a while. Like we said, we have 2 events next week, Wednesday and Saturday next week, also in Jacksonville. So be ready for that look. Masks are in right now, they're a necessity, and people got to rock them.
So the first Staredown, we have Raymond asking, the first Staredown will be the first fight of the night, which will be Ryan Spann versus Sam Alvey. So we are just waiting for Mr. Dana White to show up. Maybe you know what? This might be his first time at the hotel. So maybe he's getting his COVID-19 testing done right now. So we'll get to ask him later.
Yeah, if there's any delays because of safety precautions, no complaints on our end. Casey, we have some people asking for title fight predictions, which you and I didn't really get to on the weigh-ins. We were kind of run up the whole card. So we'll start at the top now. And I'll just ask you first. Ferguson Gaethje, what do you got?
I'm going Gaethje. I am going Justin Gaethje. I think he will put a hurt in with leg kicks, and I think he's gonna chop up Tony's legs in that first round, and I think it's gonna be a second round finish for Gaethje. If Ferguson can win, I want to see it. I am very excited. As much as I think Justin Gaethje is a great fighter, I think you have to even put an even more exciting, even more violent performance to beat Justin Gaethje, if that makes sense. So, and I think Tony Ferguson is that guy, but I do think Justin Gaethje will win.
It's so weird. I was Ferguson all the way for I think when the event was initially announced and 18th when it was supposed to happen the first time, I was Ferguson all the way. But for some reason, I've been overthinking it. I'm now leaning towards Gaethje, and I actually think Ferguson, like I said before, has as much an argument as anyone to be considered the lightweight, the actual lightweight king. I was going to pick him. When I wrote my predictions for the original Khabib fight, I was going to pick Ferguson. But this is a matchup, matchups make fights thing. And I think Gaethje is a real bad matchup for Ferguson. I think he is going to hit him, and I think it might hurt him early. And I actually don't think he's going to finish him, but I think he's going to do a lot of damage early, and that's going to affect the rest of the fight. I have Gaethje taking what I think is going to be a decision in an awesome 5-round fight. So
there's your answer, right?
Not great for the longevity of both guys, but will the main event go the distance? Yes, Sports Madness on YouTube. I do think it will. So,
you know what?
It'll be a good one.
If that fight goes 25 minutes, both those gentlemen are going to the ER. I cannot imagine that fight going 25 minutes without both their faces completely rearranged.
There is the potential for one. This could be one of those fights where we look back on it and say that's the one that shortened these guys' careers. We see fights like that happen, like Chuck Liddell and Vanderlei Silva. and both guys aren't the same after, I really think this could happen here. And I hope whoever comes out of it as the winner is healthy enough to fight Khabib later this year or early next year, whenever it happens. I know Khabib I think recently suggested possibly July. Did I see those comments? But I know Khabib does want to fight again this year. And hopefully it'll be against a somewhat healthy version of whoever walks out of this one. Casey, what are you thinking for the co-main, Henry Cejudo and Dominic Cruz?
I'm going Dominic Cruz. I think Cejudo's I think he's a 25er. I don't think he's a. Although he beat Marias, but I think Cruz's height and Cejudo not being able. I don't think he'll be able to do the damage in the clinch that he was able to do to Dominic Cruz. I'm sorry, to do to Marlon Marias. I think Dominic's height will be the main difference, and just Dominic being such a lateral side-to-side fighter is going to give Cejudo challenges, and I think it's going to be I think Dominic Cruz will win this fight via social distance. I think he's going to be able to just pop his jabs in and out on Cejudo, and Cejudo is going to be desperate for because it's just his reach isn't going to. Cejudo just doesn't have the reach, I think, to hurt Dominic. And I think Dominic's defensive wrestling will be enough to win him the fight.
Yeah, size matters. I mean, look, I think a lot of people have forgotten it was a great fight. I mean, it's a shame that it doesn't get talked about more. The Dominic Cruz Demetrius Johnson fight. Now that fight was very different, I think, than how this one will play out. When Cruz fought Demetrius Johnson at 135, Cruz actually had to go to his wrestling to really use his size and throw Mighty Mouse around. I don't think he'll be able to do that to Cejudo. But again, like we said, size matters in all aspects. In this case, I think it'll be in the striking area that he benefits. I may be affected by the fact that I just recently watched Dillashaw and Cruz again, and I was just like so amazed by how unique Cruz's movement is. He's one of those guys that you can't picture anyone beating him until it happens, which is what made the Cody Garbrandt win like so crazy as it was going down. You just couldn't believe someone was styling on Cruz as the way he was. So I think Cruz for me is always still the man to beat at 135 with respect to guys with respect to Garbrandt and other guys who have come up since in his absence. And I am going with. I think I have to put out my official predictions later. For now, I'm going to say Cruz. I reserve the right to change my mind.
And I think Dominic he's not someone that would take a title fight like this not being prepared. I know this is technically a short notice title fight for him, but I don't think he is trained like it's short notice. I think he's been training for this fight for a long time. Originally, this fight was supposed to be Henry Cejudo was supposed to be fighting in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Right now against Jose Aldo at 135 pounds. That was the original fight. But but I will say I thought Marias was gonna defeat Cejudo, and Marias gave it to Cejudo that first round, but wasn't able to keep it up. And I did think that Cejudo was going to lose to Demetrius Johnson when they did the rematch. Even though I still scored it for Demetrius, the fight was clearly very close and could have gone both ways. So maybe I'm just not on Cejudo train yet. But if Cejudo can get through Dominic Cruz, a true 35er with lots of experience, we'll see. We're gonna say, Alex, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was saying I see some people asking again who's on the call right now because you cannot see our lovely faces. This is Alex K. Lee. That was Casey, Casey Leiden, who was just talking, and Jose Youngs is also with us. I don't know, Jose, are you there or are you? Jose is on site, so he has a lot of responsibilities. Jose is here. So, yes.
I've been a little quiet because I've been trying to figure out. I keep looking up, trying to figure out if this Staredown.
Yeah.
Will win anytime soon, but the embedded was here.
Yeah. If you have a second, Jose. Yeah.
So the Staredown's were supposed to start at 8 o'clock.
People who didn't see the weigh-in. Yeah.
The weigh-ins were supposed to start at 11 o'clock, Casey. We are on Eastern time, my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to
respect
the one true time.
It's supposed to start 11 o'clock
the
Eastern.
one true time zone.
So it's 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. That obviously didn't happen. So we're just waiting to hear out and try and figure out some more.
Jose, for people who didn't see the weigh-in stream, can you kind of give them an idea of how the week has been and also how the situation is just right now?
Yeah, it's. I'm staying at the Fighter Hotel. It's about what I expected, but like I said on the stream, it's one thing to expect it and think about it, but it's another thing to see it. I mean, I got here and the hotel was a ghost town. Immediately when you walk through the front door of the hotel, the security guard there, they're like, "What are you doing? Who do you belong with?" and this and that. Checked in, and then I had to take a COVID-19 test, an antibody test, and a temperature check, just to even check into the hotel. Once I was cleared, they gave me a wristband, and then I was free to go check into my room. And now every morning, they give you a window to go down there and do another temp check. And so every single week or every day, they give you a new wristband to notify people on site that you are cleared and checked and your temperature is fine. If you cannot take it off, or you'll be escorted off the premises of the hotel. If it's damaged, you have to go get tested again, and this and that. They're taking this super seriously. Pretty much all restaurants and everything are closed. There's one basic market, and then like a normal, I think it's like a burger joint attached to it, but everything is closed pretty much in this town. It's only the fighters, UFC staff, handful of media members, and apparently AEW wrestling this year. But yeah, it's pretty quiet.
So
Jose, we have a.
While we wait, I'm gonna actually. It might be a little. We'll see what happens, but I'm gonna roll the Jeremy Stevens missing weight earlier. So let's see if I can get that working.
Yeah.
See 3 or 4 tripods, yeah, not a lot. I have no idea. I would imagine it's similar to this official weigh-in where we are all assigned seats. We're all 6 to 10 feet away from one another. Everyone's wearing masks, so there's a little bit of movement. I'm going to step away for a quick second to see if I can get it.
So right now we're showing Alex. Can you see that on the screen?
I see Tony Ferguson on the screen.
Yeah. So
yes.
So for the fans, this is Tony Ferguson weighing in just maybe an hour ago.
He successfully made weight for the second time. Let's not forget, he also made weight on April 17th to make a point because he was supposed to fight again Gaethje on the 18th. So Tony Ferguson, that wrestler's mentality, he's got that wrestler background. He said, there's some people asking, is it a good idea for you to make weight, to do the weight cut twice in such a short period of time? He said, look, don't worry about me. I don't worry about you. I don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about me. And at least today he made a statement by once again hitting 155 on the dot for his championship fight.
So I am trying to find when Jeremy Stevens missed weight so we can see that. Oh, I already missed it because I think it was toward the beginning.
Yes, people who, again, just joining us, we're going to show Jeremy Stevens. He's the only fighter of the 24 who weighed in early this morning to miss weight. He missed weight by a considerable amount, weighing 150 and a half for a 145-pound bout. So even with the 1 pound limit, he missed weight by 4.5 pounds. You'll also see a hilarious application of the weigh-in hoop, which just mystified us as it was happening. Here we go. I think we have
it's Anthony Pettis making weight
successfully. Yep, making a welterweight limit for his fight with Donald Cerrone. The two smartest guys in the card taking a fight a weight class up from where they've taken the majority of the fights in their career. And yep. So is Joe Stevens next?
I think so. So for people at home watching, that's Donald Cerrone weighing.
Oh, that's Donald Cerrone, also successfully making welterweight.
There we go. There we go.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, hold on, Miko. There we go. Okay. This little cursor thing doesn't work very well. So what we're watching right now is a replay of the official weigh-ins, which just occurred a couple hours ago. And the bottom corner is the scale right now. Oh, where the face-offs will be as soon as Dana White gets here. So here's Jeremy Stevens
so
weighing
here he
in.
came. We'll comment on this after. Just enjoy the scene for now.
Technically, they did use the hoop, I guess.
Yes.
So when he came up with that, you could do we'll sit up in the rafters. Yeah. I was like, hey man.
Yo.
Yep.
So update. I was told it's up to the fighters whether they want to have a stare down.
Oh, okay. So we may not be getting everyone.
Well, I also see Ryan Spann standing right here. It looks like he wants. He's just joking. Like, we're about to punch each other in the face. So stand by. I believe this is going to be happening soon.
Okay. So we'll comment on this, Jeremy Stevens. Now, for anyone wondering, yes, that is the hoop they were holding. That was not a giant prophylactic. That was the hoop that they normally, for the longest time were only using for female fighters, of course, who had to strip down to try and help them make weight. They've normally it's a hoop. I shouldn't have to explain this to you guys. You step into the hoop and it covers your whole body. Okay.
I think we're about to have face-offs right now, so
Okay.
I'm going to switch my audio to.
Ryan Spann.
I will not be able to hear you guys either. So
No worries.
Okay. All right. We are waiting. So Ryan Spann and Sam Alvey should be stepping up first shortly. They'll be opening up the early prelims. Again, we don't know if everyone is facing off.
This new normal is very weird.
Yeah, the new normal does not feel normal at all. Yeah.
Considering this is supposed to be, these are the stare downs for what UFC is calling the best fight card ever. It's just, what a unique situation we're in.
Missing something.
So we were told these were supposed to start at about 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
So we're about 45 minutes behind schedule.
So thank you everyone for everyone who tuned, all you early birds who tuned in right away and have stuck with us for the last 45. You guys are truly, the hardcores. Yeah, you guys are the real stars, and we really appreciate you hanging with us.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yep, we hear you.
Well, staying near the camera to operate this. If you can't see it, I'll try and pan a little bit. I'm turning the camera, but you can see the fighters are all standing
this is
pretty far
great.
apart from back there. So it looks like they're ready to go, but they're all social distanced.
So Bryce Mitchell, no mask. Is that a thing? Is that Luque? Oh no,
It looks like they're standing in order of the weigh-in, so whatever fight.
Spaced out, too.
Yeah, that is what we're doing right now. It looks like we'll be ready to go soon. I will do my best, ladies and gentlemen.
We had a helpful YouTube comment saying no kissing, though none of the fighters should kiss. So no Heath Herring Nakao flashbacks. You guys can YouTube that Heath Herring Nakao if you want to know what I'm talking about.
No kissing.
If you want to see a pre-fight MMA kiss that ended in disaster, look up Heath Herring and Yoshihiro Nakao. It's quite a clip.
I think the last kiss I saw in the UFC was it Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman when they faced off. I remember they were pretty close.
Wasn't Diego Sanchez and what was it, Alex White or Craig White or one of those guys in the Dallas card? He kissed him on the nose.
Guys, that Anderson and Weidman, that wasn't a face off. That was a face on. That was a face on another face. That's not a face off. That's the opposite of a face off.
Jose, can you pan over to kind of show the fighters backstage? Are they still there? It's kind of an interesting shot we have. Yeah. So they look to be in the order that they're fighting in.
Again, we have been. I believe Jose, you said that they have the option. If fighters don't want to face off, they won't have to. But we will see. We'll go case by case here, and we'll let you guys know which ones are coming up, which ones we don't expect to happen.
I would imagine that they're all going to stare down.
It's really interesting watching the UFC in this situation, considering like they're such a polished, produced machine.
Say it again, Casey.
No, it's very interesting watching the UFC conduct themselves right now, considering what a polished, very highly produced machine everything is. But everything is new. They've had no rehearsals for this. This is the first time for everything. They haven't done practice runs on this. They're just like, okay, we're just going for it.
Yeah, I saw some people wonder why didn't they schedule the fight like kind of backwards? Why didn't they do the fight nights before the pay-per-view? But I guess they want to come back with a bang, so it's somewhat understandable. But yeah, no dry run.
Oh, I lost you, Alex. You're kind of going in and out.
Oh, sorry. There was a big burst of volume. Sorry, can you hear me?
No, did something change? You're coming in super low now.
I don't know. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Can you tap the mic just to get the low? Okay, yeah, it's just sounding a little off, but
I feel like the volume in the room got louder. I'll try and quasi shout here.
It seems to be like there's a lot more people now. Like we have a bunch of cameramen, we have a bunch of photographers. Looks like all the fighters are back. So
Okay. We can see Luke there as well.
Yeah. So right there, what we're seeing on camera are the first 3 fights. That's Ryan Spann, who'll be fighting Sam Alvey. Bryce Mitchell will be fighting Charles Rosa in the second fight of the night, and then Vicente Luque, who'll be fighting Nico Price in the third fight of the night. So I'm assuming the rest of the fighters are lined up 6 feet, or 6 whatever feet apart along that wall.
Oh, someone said Yoel Romero Rockhold was the best MMA kiss of all time. That was
That was a post-fight kiss.
Post fight kiss. Gosh.
Oh, Bryce Mitchell got tired of standing.
Oh, he's blowing up Twitter right now.
All right.
Yeah, there's the weights on screen for everyone again who may have missed the weigh-ins. Only Jeremy Stevens missed. Otherwise, our championship fighters are on weight. Everyone else may wait. 23 out of the 24 fighters. So if you want to catch up, please look at this beautiful graphic made by Esther Lynn.
Jose, can you see can you see the fighters on the other side, or can you only see this side of the room?
I can only see this side.
Okay.
They were trying to explain a lot of what was going on. So it looks like they're going to walk in from the left and go to the right.
Okay.
Like out the door, so I don't think they're going to backtrack.
For anyone wondering what the delay could be, it's possible that we are still waiting for President Dana White. Jose, I don't think you've seen Dana show up yet. Yeah. So I
didn't hear that, Alex. What's that?
Oh, don't worry. I think it's very possible that we're waiting for Dana White. That could be the holdup here. It looks like a lot of the fighters are ready to go. Yeah, it's just waiting on the boss man. We need him to break things up in case people get within 6 feet of each other. Dana White will be there to shut that down fast.
Jose, can you pan back over to the fighters?
1 second.
No problem.
I got a little evil eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. How dare you?
Guys, this is I just want to tell people, this is what these fighters, this is like part of the job. I know people think like being a fighter can be all glamour, but these guys are waiting to rehydrate and just rest and relax, and they want to recover and just get into that mindset for a fight that they have to do now in less than 48 hours, and they just have to wait. I mean, this is just this is taking them out of their routine.
This is odd.
Yeah, this is tough. So I know, it looks like, it's not the worst thing in the world to have to wait. But this is the kind of thing that's going to affect their whole day, affect their whole schedule. So, bless these guys for volunteering to be on this card, for signing on to be on this card, for taking this risk, for our entertainment and so that we can bring you this coverage. I really, really appreciate all the fans watching, and definitely appreciate the fighters here. So please show these guys some love. Show them love on social media. Don't troll them. Don't be trolls, guys. Give these guys the props they deserve. Again, for anyone just tuning in, this was supposed to begin much earlier. This was supposed to begin about less than an hour ago at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So that was the scheduled time for the face-offs. It's face-offs, the stare-downs that happened. They're supposed to happen after the weigh-ins. We are currently waiting. We don't know if it's because Dana White is not here yet, or there's just some other organizational, issue they need to pin down. But yes, thank you for sticking with us. Yes, some people are saying an hour late. I know, unbelievable. It's almost like, this is we're on Conor McGregor time now. This is like when Conor McGregor says he's going to show up for a press conference. We are past that time now. So.
I'm thinking like probably UFC 1, UFC 2. I'm sure the weigh-ins were kind of this chaotic a little before too. But you know what? We're not at Buffalo Wild Wings. We're actually at a nice hotel in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, how times have changed.
This
Casey,
is a nice hotel.
Have you guys caught up on any old cards or older fights during this during this kind of quarantine?
I've been watching a bunch of 2 minutes and 20-second clips of fights that Kaposa and a few other really good MMA Twitter accounts have been sharing. But otherwise, I've used this time as a bit of an off season for myself in terms of just watching fights.
Yeah, I think everyone has to realize, like, again, I love covering MMA. I think we love our jobs, but like anything that's work is you get a little burnt out on it, especially during this kind of tough time where there's no actual fights, and it's great. It's been great to hear a fighter's story during quarantine, but I think stepping away, even from something that we're as passionate about as MMA, is a very healthy thing. So follow Casey. What I'm saying is be like Casey. Casey's a great example to follow.
I might as well just show some old weigh-ins from a couple hours ago.
Yeah, let's bring you back to the weigh-ins. Dominic Cruz, I believe, was the first guy to weigh. Dominic Cruz, I believe, was the first to weigh in, or one of the first two to weigh in. He made it successfully. Took a lot of the drama out of it.
There we go.
Yep. Here comes Dominic Cruz, his first fight in over 4 years. Pardon me, over 3 years. Yes, long layoff.
Who was his last fight against?
Cody Garbrandt. So coming off a loss, very controversial. People say him getting the title shot. Coming off a loss and such a long break, but here we are.
Are we about to start, Jose? Does it look like? Nope.
No changes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
No changes. Yeah.
Justin Gaethje came up, also successfully made weight. Has never been an issue for him. Him and Tony Ferguson both coming from that wrestling background, so I mean, they take so much pride in making weight, have so much experience doing it. You're not going to see these guys mess around.
So thank you everyone for watching the 249 stare downs, and while we wait for them, let's watch the 249 weigh-ins.
Yes, thank you guys. We will have hopefully have the stare down shortly.
I'm sorry, Jose? Oh, I think
we're getting some movement. What? Can you hear me? Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I see
a little bit of movement.
Okay.
UFC is back.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Dana White is here.
No mask.
Let us get to it.
Why is this cameraman wearing? All right.
In the light heavyweight division, Ryan Spann versus Smiling Sam Alvey.
For anyone who can't hear, this is Ryan Spann and Sam Alvey, light heavyweight, facing off.
All right, next up is featherweight. Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell versus Charles Boston Strong Rosta.
For anyone that was Bryce Mitchell, Charles Rosa coming up. This is a featherweight bout.
All right, now featuring Freeland live on UFC Fight Pass and welterweight. It's a rematch. Vicente Luque versus one of Florida's finest, Nico Price.
Here we got a welterweight rematch between Vicente Luque and Nico Price. Luque won their first fight back in October 2017 by second round submission.
All right, next four prelims going to be seen live on ESPN. The opener at middleweight, Uriah Hall versus Jacare Souza.
Two middleweight veterans facing off now. This is Uriah Hall and Ronaldo Jacare Souza. They are maintaining distance.
All right, moving on now to the strawweight division. The former champ, Carla Esparza versus the karate hottie, Michelle.
Strawweights now, Carla Esparza and Michelle Watterson.
All right.
All right, next prelim live on ESPN at heavyweight, the boa constrictor Alexei Olenek will welcome back the former UFC heavyweight champion by Cavallo, Fabricio Verdum.
Heavyweight veterans, Alexei Olenek and Fabricio Verdum, both 42 years young, facing off now. We're seeing a variety of approaches to the face-off. Some people keeping their distance at first and then dapping it up after, doing a little hug. Okay, there you go. The elbow touch.
The fist to elbow. Fist to elbow.
The elbow touch.
Cowboys making his record 35th UFC appearance against the former lightweight king Anthony Showtime Pettis.
We've got another rematch here. Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Anthony Showtime Pettis. This time at welterweight. They fought at lightweight back in January 2013, and Pettis won first round TKO. All smiles.
All right, now the main card live on pay-per-view 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. We start with the heavyweights. Prince of War, Greg Hardy taking on the undefeated Yorgan De Castro.
Heavyweights now, Greg Hardy and Yorgan De Castro. De Castro, a Contender Series contract winner, unbeaten so far at 6-0. He had a successful UFC debut last time, knocking out with Justin Gaethje.
All right, great way to kick off the main card there. And then we get some more action at featherweight. Jeremy Willie Stevens taking his third UFC walk, taking on the Methuen, Massachusetts native Calvin Cater.
Okay. We have featherweights Jeremy Stevens and Calvin Cater facing off now. Stevens missed weight earlier today, so it looks like this fight is going to go on. So you can sort of take this as somewhat of an official announcement. We don't know for sure, but they are facing off. We don't know what penalty.
At heavyweight, the number 2 ranked contender Francis Ngannou versus the undefeated big boy Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
Our last pair of heavyweights, UFC 249, Francis Ngannou and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Oh, they're getting close. Ooh.
All right, now the co-headliner for the UFC Bantamweight Championship. We welcome back the consensus greatest bantamweight of all time, Dominic Cruz, to take on the champion, Triple C, Henry Cejudo.
Now, bantamweight champion Henry Cejudo and two-time champion Dominic Cruz. Oh, here we go. That was a Demetrius Johnson head pillow, it looked like. TJ Dillashaw, okay, disposed of. And now, of course, Dominic Cruz.
Oh, I want one.
Oh, embrace the cringe. The king of cringe, bringing it with kicking some pillows with the opponents of his past opponents and the one he faces on Saturday night in the co-main event.
Yeah, you just showed too much. All right, your main event shaping up as one for the ages for the UFC's interim lightweight championship. Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje.
Saturday's main event now, interim title fight challengers or contenders, whatever you want to call them, Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje. Ferguson carrying the interim belt that he won, that he's previously won. Okay.
And the baseball.
Rocking that baseball again. This is a new gimmick. He's rocking that baseball.
All right, thank y'all for being here. We will see y'all tomorrow night.
Well, there we go. Mostly uneventful. Just them happening is an event, and then they actually those Staredowns look pretty normal. There was various ways of greeting each other and dapping up after, but otherwise, fighters got close. You know, there wasn't any extreme social distancing except for I think Uriah Hall and Jacare. But first of all, thank you everyone who stuck with the stream. Thank you everyone for joining me, Alex Bailey, and Jose Youngs, who's on site. And Casey, who's on the 1 2. Thank you for joining us, guys, on Staredowns. I know you have to wait a long time.